Story 1. Am I the a-hole for rejecting my boyfriend of 7 years proposal? My 29F boyfriend 31M and I have been together for 7 years. We've had our ups and downs like any couple, but overall, we've been very happy. However, there's one thing that we've always disagreed on: how I want to be proposed to. I have PTSD from a traumatic event that happened in my early 20s. Without going into too much detail, it involved a situation where I had my skirt pulled down on a crowded subway platform, and a few men touched me inappropriately while I was trying to pull it back on. Because of this, I've always been very clear with my boyfriend that if he ever proposed, I wanted it to be private. Big, public gestures where attention is on me make me extremely anxious and can trigger panic attacks. And I've expressed how important it is for me to feel safe and comfortable during such a significant moment. This past weekend, we were out with a group of our close friends and his parents at a busy restaurant when, out of the blue, he got down on one knee and proposed in front of everyone. I was completely caught off guard and immediately felt my anxiety spike. My chest felt tight and I wanted to throw up. I froze, and all I could think about was how overwhelmed and exposed I felt in that moment. I ended up telling him, "I can't right now, no," and ran out of the restaurant. We hadn't even ordered yet. I Ubered home and just cried for a few hours. When he got back to my apartment, he was furious and accused me of embarrassing him and making him look foolish in front of our friends and his family. I tried to explain that I wasn't rejecting him, but that I had specifically asked for a private proposal due to my PTSD. He said this was positive, and it shouldn't have mattered if I was feeling a little anxious. I should have pulled up my big girl pants and just said yes, and moved on, instead of humiliating him in front of all of the people in the restaurant. Now he's not speaking to me, and our friends are divided. Some say I should have just gone along with it to spare his feelings and talk to him afterward. Others think he was in the wrong for disregarding something so important to me. I feel terrible for how things turned out, but I also feel like he ignored my boundaries and put me in an impossible position. Am I the a-hole? Story 2. What could I 26F do to get my BF 26M to enjoy sex again? Me and my BF have been together for almost 4 years now. We met when I was 23 and he was 22, almost 23. Our bedroom life used to be so great. He would be very considerate about my needs and always take care of me, and most importantly, we always had fun together. We loved to spice things up and it was always amazing. Until about a year ago, I found out I was pregnant, and while we were both thrilled, he changed when I was about 6 months pregnant. Our baby is now 7 months, and since I was pregnant, we've had sex maybe 10 times. Anytime I try to bring this up with him, he claims that he just doesn't have the drive or something along those lines, or he just shuts down entirely and says he feels shitty for not being able to make me happy. While he says he doesn't have a high sex drive, I do. And he's always known that, and it was no issue before we had our baby. I've tried everything to get him in the mood, from buying lingerie to supplements for him, but nothing works. I just feel like while he may not want anything, he should take into account that I do, and at least give me something. But I get absolutely nothing, and it's honestly really hurting our relationship. I don't know what to do anymore. This is my last attempt at seeking help. Please offer advice. Edit, please do not PM me. I'm not interested in you, I promise. I'm just looking for advice. Story 3. I didn't break up with my GF because my sister asked me to. Am I the a-hole? I really don't know what to do. Would like some help on how to go forward with this. I 20M have a GF, Laura. We've been dating for 3 years now. She's the love of my life. I have a week left until my college semester starts, and my parents weren't home, so I invited her over to hang out, order pizza, etc. Her cousin Eric 21M was visiting, and I've met him before. He's a cool guy, so when she asked if she could bring him over, I said sure. They were here for a few hours, and me and my GF got completely blasted. Now my little sister Sophie 16F was also in the house. She stayed up in her room the whole time. I checked in on her once, and she was on her phone with a friend. I guess I don't remember the night much. I was super drunk. But Laura and Eric left at like 12. They took an Uber. In the morning, my sister was very quiet, wasn't talking, which is weird for her. I asked her what was up, and she started crying and told me I should break up with Laura. This obviously shocked me. I tried asking her why, but got nothing more out of her. She locked her door. I called Laura and she was equally as confused, or maybe she played dumb. I real don't know. I went back up to check on Sophie, and she still wasn't opening her door. I called Laura back, and this time she was very quiet. She said there had been a disagreement, apparently with my sister, Laura and Eric, while I stepped out to get us more beer from the store down the street. Essentially, she told me Sophie was being a drama queen. This time, when I went up to Sophie's room, I parroted whatever Laura had said, and I could hear her start crying again. She told me if I didn't break up with Laura, she would never speak to me again. I got upset and said things I'm very proud of. Now she's not talking to me at all, hasn't come out of her room, and I don't know what's gotten into her. How do I even proceed?